We came out to Managua this weekend for the Parrillerofest Festival being held at Invercasa. Now, we're not going to be able to actually film with audio there because they're playing really loud DJ music, so we can't talk over it. It's too loud, and we can't record it because it's copyrighted. So we're going to have to do an overdub and show you the festival. But this is a really cool event. I'm going to describe it before we head over. What they do there is this is sponsored by the big butchery, by the big carniceria. What this is a big event sponsored by the giant carniceria by Carnic, which is the biggest, basically a commercial butcher here in Nicaragua, and they sponsor this giant event at Invercasa, which is the largest high-rise complex in the capital here in Managua, and they take the parking lot and turn it into a giant meat festival, and they have competitions, and like 10 bands come up and play. We're going to show a little bit of those. We did some recording, did a lot of photography. We were invited by some of the bands to come out and be their photographer for the show, and so we got took a little bit over 1,200 pictures, I think, during the show. Like, we worked pretty hard at this, and went and hung out. So it's a big party. There's a lot of dancing, a lot of really great music, really good if you're into meat, like really competitive meat, like smoking stations and steak places. Like every little vendor sets up and has like a lot of cool stuff. So we're gonna show that, and they have these like people come in and barbecue, and then they have judges and a whole show with that, and some other vendors are there as well. And of course you get beer and hang out all day, and they got big tents. It was a really cool event. I'm glad we came out for it, and I'm glad we got some of it to show. I wish we could have done a lot more, like interviewing and walking around and stuff while we're there, but it's so loud that it was not at all realistic. But it's a fun event, and this is just one of those many things that kind of, if you're going to be living in Nicaragua, you're going to be visiting for a long time, this is a great thing to come out and really do and connect with the community. There's no extranjeros, there's no foreigners. As far as I know, I was the only one. This is such a local event, but of course you're welcome, right? Like, what a great way to get in and be part of the community and see what real Nicaraguans like to go out and do when something special is going on. So we're going to take you into Invercasa and the what's really a barbecue competition. So this is the main entrance of the event. It's in the Invercasa parking lot. There was a lot of people, several thousand, and they did a great job, I think, of converting the parking lot into this like event center. Like, it was pretty cool. They put up this huge main structure you can see in the middle, and then they had bars and restaurants and competition areas around it, which we're going to walk through. And mostly we're just going to do some walkthroughs and show you what we had here. And these are the people that are with us. That's Linda in the black with Valentina and Tafari, Marcela's children. We'll see Marcela later. Carnic, the biggest, I believe, meat distributor in the country, has this new export product, and they were showing that off quite a bit. New as in maybe 5 years. But they had their own displays, and they were sponsoring a bunch of the events. Tip Top is the big chicken distributor in the country. And there's other distributors that you see all over the place being shown. And this is, so such a huge part of the show is that they also put on these huge concerts. So this is Haiti Gallo and the Roosters, probably my favorite band in the country. They do an amazing job. This is a great concert. And I also did a lot of photography of that. If you're interested in seeing more of that, go check out my Flickr channel, which information is in the show notes. You can see photographs from this and lots of other shows. I do tons all the time. This is a really good show. They had about 10 bands that played all throughout the day. Nearly every hour, a different band would come up and do basically one set instead of a 2 to 3 set concert. They'd each do one set with this big production. It was fantastic. So you got a lot of variety, a lot of awesome bands. Almost all the bands are ones that we knew and go to see regularly. So this is a cool event. We're going to take a lot of people next year because we really enjoyed this. Like, for me as a vegetarian, the food is pretty much non-existent here, but most everyone we know would love the food. But it's like one of the best concert events of the year in the country, so highly recommended for that alone. And of course, if you eat meat, it's going to be a great event here. And there you can see our team coming again out of one of the restaurants. You can see all these little stands where they're doing different types of barbecues or smoked meats or just whatever. And there's a few other things as well, but that's really kind of the crux of what they're doing here, obviously. And of course, Victoria Classica is there sponsoring as well. So everyone's got a beer. Everyone has some kind of meat items. There's a few non-meat places that were there as well, mixed in, and just tons of people watching the competition, because they would get up on the stage and discuss who was winning or what they were doing for competition. So there's things to watch, and then the concerts going on all throughout the day. I think the first concert started at like 11 o'clock in the morning, if I'm correct. It was definitely going by 2 for sure with the bands, and went pretty close to midnight. So you get a full day. It was just under $10 to get in, maybe $9 for entrance, which is not bad at all, considering this is a full day event with a lot to do. And you can see this is early in the day how many people had packed in. By night, that was standing room only. You couldn't walk through anywhere, even on the left there, even up at the stage, completely packed. People kept trickling in all day long. And they had, big screens and big cameras and everything. This is an extremely well done event. We did not know what to expect. None of us had ever been before, even though they've done this for years. And really glad that we went. Glad that we can show it to you guys. It's cool from our show perspective, but also very cool from, there's Valentina with some drinks. There's Tafari and Linda. Just really great to be able to bring you guys along for this, because so often it's like, what can you do in Nicaragua? What does Nicaragua look like when you're getting away from the everyday stuff that we show? And this is a good example. And often these kinds of things are happening in Managua, but they happen all over the country too. I think actually less happen in Leon. I think we have so much more nightlife and stuff in Leon that we kind of miss out on some of these big events. Quite often. Plus, we're very isolated out in the West. We're not in the main population center, and so there's a lot of things that that go to more centralized population. So there's Marcela with her Nika Roomba shirt. So we're going to do a little housekeeping while we're spinning around here. She's saying hello to everyone. So first of all, Marcela does have stage 4 Hodgkin's lymphoma. We do have a GoFundMe for her. If you go down in the show notes, we are definitely asking for donations to help her. Those are her kids that are there. She is my producer. She's been with us for years, and she is doing well so far, and we're going to have her on the live stream. By the time you see this, she'll have already been on again to talk about where she is with her chemotherapy that she's going through. And obviously, we think things are going well, but she doesn't have her big checkup yet. So we don't have a lot of feedback for another few weeks yet, but she's generally feeling pretty good. But there's chemotherapy is still very, very hard, and cancer is still very scary. Also in the show notes, if you want to contact me or find my social media or find my Flickr feed, or you want to take a video question of yourself and send it in, here's one of the places, just making food, just showing some different scenes here. And here's me with, I did go get a healthy non-meat drink there for a second. There's one of the beer stands. If you want to send in a video question of yourself or comment or anything, we love it when people do that. It does take me a while to get those made and put them on the show, but we do try very hard to get you guys on, and it is fantastic when you do that. So check in the show notes, because all the information for that is down there. If you want to contact me for anything, be aware it takes me forever to get back to you. And some people want me to come out and film things, and I love doing that. But be aware, I'm generally booked out, and I mean this, to the minute, up to a month ahead of time. I do a lot of work. Like, the show is not my full-time job. It's not what pays the bills. Doesn't pay anything. So it's really important to understand I have an incredibly packed schedule. I don't have access to a car most days. I don't have access to free time most days. And so if you want me to come do things, I need a lot of lead time and a lot of patience, because I am trying to get out and do things for people, and it's just very hard. If you want to support the show, we've got a Buy Me a Coffee link. We'll put it on the screen, but it's also in the show notes. That comes directly to me. It's like Patreon, and helps support us going out and doing shows like this. We had to go out and stay in a hotel and everything. This probably cost us $200 to film, which is not tragic, and it was a great show, but it's a lot of money goes into, it's probably more, $250, because we had to buy tickets. We don't get in for free. We don't get cameras for free. All this costs money, and it really helps when you guys support us. So we thank you so much for that. Make sure you get down in the comments, say hello, let us know what you think of this episode and others. This is a very short episode. I just wanted to walk around. There's so little that we can record here that I wanted to just take you guys around and show you this really cool event, because if you were there in person, food, music, absolutely fantastic. Have some beers, get to know the locals. Highly recommend that you come out and do events like this when living in Nicaragua. Maybe not as a tourist, but as an expat, this is a fantastic way to get connected. So it was a really fun day, and I really encourage you guys to go out and do things like this. We actually went out and took the bus to get out from Leon to Managua, so we actually got to ride, this is cool, the new, everybody calls them the Chinese buses, but there's all these new shuttles and buses and different things that have come from China in recent months, and we didn't know we were getting these here, or maybe people did. I did not know that the León de Managua run was getting all of their interlocales replaced, but they were, and so every single interlocale, which is the shuttles, not the buses, is now replaced with these new ones. So the old ones could seat about 15 people. These new ones seat 20 and are much taller. They're much bigger. I think they're more comfortable. Marcela did not agree that they were more comfortable. She felt that, at least where she was sitting, she was a little bit more squished in because they are squeezing in 20 people. But they, overall, I think that they're moving more people at lower cost, and I found sitting by the windows that I was able to get even more air than on the old ones, and I was fine on the old ones. I had no problems on the interlocales, and this was a surprise for me, but overall, having ridden it to Managua and back with a lot of gear. Remember, I had my regular backpack because I was staying at a hotel, so I had my overnight bag, clothes and that kind of stuff, toothbrush, and then I had my camera bag, which is huge and heavily padded, so there's no way to make it small. And I'm carrying multiple cameras because we did photography and videography, and then I had 2 tripods with me. So there's a lot of gear to shove around. When Marcela and I went together out to Managua, we had 2 people splitting all that up plus her giant backpack. But when I came back alone, so I had all that just with me. And honestly, I was able to fit in quite comfortably. And with the window open, which they always are, it was completely cool on the bus, and I didn't feel really warm or squeezed in or anything. I was quite comfortable, and I felt it was more comfortable than the old interlocales. But it's interesting, a lot of people are looking for information about those new buses or shuttles, and here in country where public transportation is such a big deal, that information is big and affects daily lives in a way that in the United States people wouldn't notice. Only a tiny percentage of the population would be impacted by that, but here nearly everyone is, and certainly I am, and it's interesting and fun to explore that stuff. I'm going to get out with probably a 360 cam and try to film those and get a lot more detail for you guys in the future, just so you can see what it's like. We also post in real time when I find stuff like that. So those pictures were up on Nicaragua, which is basically like a Twitter. If any of you are interested, first, go down in the show notes. Information's in there, but nicaragua.com, Loro meaning parrot. And it's like Twitter, but it's meant for here in Nicaragua. And you can see pictures and updates, and it's a great place to connect with each other. And we've seen a lot of new people. On the live streams, we have a tendency to have a lot of people join. So get in there and connect with other people. I'm going to start putting together a list of people to connect with each other on that as well. It's a great way when you're an expat here to connect with other expats in kind of our own little online social media community. And we're going to have other stuff like that to talk about. We've had these for years, but not a lot of people know about them. Thanks for joining me. Like and subscribe. If you'd like to help support the channel, again, we said this, buy me a coffee, please. It really does go a long way. Please consider supporting Marcela through the GoFundMe program. And as always, share on social media, tell a friend about the show, watch an extra episode. That stuff goes a long way. And I will see all of you tomorrow.